guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ashley, the Distracted Stitcher, and I am really pleased to be back with a video. It has been, I think, 2 months since I last filmed my video. I could be wrong. I just know that it has been a lot longer than I anticipated. So I'm here with a July and August update. My work, because where I work, we work at weddings, because we are a hotel. So we've been in the middle of wedding season. So there has been a wedding basically every day or every other day for the last 8 weeks. So the whole of July and August. It's now September the 10th. I was meant to film this video last week and I ended up being really run down to the point where I had 3 days off work, 3.5 days off, and I ended up sleeping for all of them. Jordan would go to work in the morning and within 2 hours I was back asleep on the sofa. So it has been hectic to say the least. So whenever I have had energy, all I have wanted to do is try and get stitching done. I have worked on a lot of projects. I have probably got more haul than I have projects to show as whips, but I'm currently working on downsizing my whips and trying to get some finishes. I've had 3 finishes since I was last here. I don't have any of them on me, but I will put in videos and obviously I will talk about them and discuss the project that I have finished. So I've had 3 finishes. I've had a big, a medium and a small finish. One was a start and finish, and I'm just really happy that, you know, there's a couple of them that have been sitting around for a while and they're finally finished. Oh, I've just shook the camera. So we're back in my dining room today and I'm really happy. We're probably going to be here for an hour, so at least. So you're probably going to want to get yourself some stitching, a drink, something to eat, because I have a lot of things to show and it's a variety of projects. We've got full coverage, we've got Fancy Ladies, we have small projects, we have some Theresa Wenzler, and then the haul just seems never ending. And I should probably start with my stack of whips. This isn't even all, there's one behind the camera, which is the one that I'm going to show you last because it's the one with the most progress on it. So the way I've been working on my whips is me and Jordan kind of helps me pick my whips, so I'll give him a selection and then he'll pick the one he thinks I should work on for a bit. So the first one that he picked was my Roll of Love, and now this is a Dimensions gold kit, which I had purchased. I've just folded the front cover. I'd purchased this on eBay about 3 years ago, easy 3 years ago, and I had started stitching it. However, my stitching has changed since I started stitching in 2020 when I got back into stitching, and I restarted it when one of my friends said that she had the original American made kit. So if you don't know, Dimensions were made in America, now they're made in China, and the quality is a little different. However, neither are bad. Like, the American one is not superior, it's just different. So Joe kindly gifted, do not mind this mark on my wall. The people who used to live here before me, I still haven't decorated my kitchen, we're doing it on this annual leave in September. The people that used to live here before me must have had something built into the wall because it's completely scratched the paper. So I need to paint my dining room, which is on the books. So Joel kindly gifted me the American version of Roll of Love. So I'll put in a picture of where it was when I picked this project up, because when I picked it up, it looked nothing like this. So since I've picked it up, I'm not sure how many stitches I've done, but I did work on this continuously for just days on end. And my bear now has a face, a fully outlined bow, background. Don't mind like the loose threads here. These were half stitches with 1 strand, which is what this is, and I can't really run it under the back because 1 strand isn't very bulky on the back, so you can't really run the needle through. So I just pull it down a couple, like 10 stitches, and then just snip it like 1 inch and then wait till I've stitched over it. So that is a lot of progress. I've essentially just like worked all on her face, and then my plan now is just to work all of this background and work down, and then I'm going to finish this bear before I obviously move on to this one because this fabric is rolled up. And I'm doing the back stitch as I go because the last thing I want to do is leave it to the end and then think, oh my goodness, I have so much back stitch to do that I just don't want to do it. This is a Nurge number 3 hoop, the plastic one. I got this from Paintree Crafts. This is actually my favourite size of this hoop. I like their wooden hoops as well. I use their wooden hoops. I have a wooden hoop on the next project, but the wooden hoops are better for things that are on linen, or even if they do work for Ada as well. I find that these work. These also work for full coverages. I find that they're really, really good. I don't know, personal preference is the number 3 hoop. So you'll probably see a lot of these. I think I've got like 3 in this pile so far. All of my hoops that I use are either Q-snaps, which technically is not a hoop, so they're either Q-snaps or they are Nurge hoops. So that got a good few days on it, and the plan is to try and get that bare finished before the end of the year. However, I've not looked at it for the last couple of weeks because you're about to see what has taken up my time for the last 2 weeks, and I have done so much stitching on it. So the next project, these aren't in the order that I stitched on them, it's just the order that I've put them in this pile. So the next project that I worked on, again, I've just folded the front cover, is this butterfly. Again, this was picked up on eBay as well. This doesn't, it says it's number 439. But obviously this is written in Dutch because Thea Governor is from Holland. So the details on the back are this. And then these are some of the other ones in the range, and I think these are so beautiful. So I restarted this because I had it started, and by started I mean I'd done about 7 stitches. So I picked it up. It's got a bit dusty, so if that doesn't tell you how long I haven't worked on this. So again, this is a wooden Nurge hoop. Excuse these threads, they are everywhere. The project is a little hard to stitch on because it's very confetti heavy in the actual butterfly. So I've stitched, this was what I had done prior to picking it up. So I've counted up, and I'm going to stitch the butterfly before I stitch the flowers, because I feel like if I've got the butterfly complete, I'm more likely to work on it and finish it. The needle minder on Roll of Love, I've no idea where it's from Etsy. I thought I'd lost it for a while. It turned out I hadn't lost it. It had just been on that project for the last 2 years. This one, however, is a little green toad from Mario, and this is from Denkai Designs, and I got it at the retreat last year. The plan is this year I've messaged her and asked her if she had any Lord of the Rings things, and she has said that she's found some and she's going to bring them to the retreat, and obviously I can purchase whichever ones I want to purchase. So they were 2 small projects. Excuse me, I'm taking the fluff off the next one. I'm not sure why they all have fluff on them. Actually, the next project is the only other one that I've only done a small amount on as well. So this was a gift in my mystery box at the retreat last year. So excuse the fabric. This is a soda stitch design, and I haven't got the actual pattern cover with me right now, so I will put that on the screen of what this one will look like when it's finished. So this is Ice Cream Cats by Soda Stitch, and I forgot to say that the last 2 projects are stitched with everything from the kit. Every thread, every piece of fabric. This next one I just stitched on this. I've got this random piece of 32 count, which is very large, and it's not the best quality piece of fabric. As you can see, it's been in a Q-snap for a while. It's not the best quality piece of fabric, and I did originally buy it for Mirabilia, and then when it's a bit slubby, so I didn't want to use it for Fancy Lady, because I feel like for Fancy Lady it needs to have the perfect fabric, and I'm very invested in my Fancy Ladies, so I decided to use it for my Ice Cream Cats, and it does fit. So I've started on the cat in the middle, which has the hot pink ice cream, and this is as far as I have got. I haven't stitched on this for weeks. I actually forgot when I was going to pick up my stuff to film this video that I needed to stitch on this. However, the fabric is lovely to stitch on. As I said though, I don't think I would use it for a Fancy Lady, but for something like this with a bit of thread, a little bit of linear work, well, a lot of linear work, it's a soda stitch, but for a project like this, it is perfect. Not so perfect for something that requires beads and the heavy intensity detail. So there are my 3 small projects that I bought. I've got 4 bigger projects that I've been working on. So there are 3 smaller projects I have been working on over the last 2 months. And these other ones have had a little bit more work, or they are a birthday start. So my birthday start was this, and it started at 2 months after my birthday. So this is a Bothy Threads kit. As you can see, the price is still on it. It says, Be My Sunshine. This was Jordan's pick. I picked one because he told me to. Actually, to be honest, we'd went into the shop and Sarah was showing me her delivery of Bothy, and I happened to see a box that said The Siren, and I automatically decided it was mine. I didn't care what it was. It was a siren. And I was the girl who 3 or 4 years ago said, I'm never going to stitch a mermaid. They're not for me. I'm not that girl. Yeah, I'm that girl. I have so far stitched 2 mermaids. I have plans for many more mermaids, as in fabric. I have every Mirabilia mermaid except one. I've just bought beads for a mermaid plus a pattern for a mermaid. I am a mermaid kind of gal. So when I seen it, Jordan said that it was going in the box for my birthday stuff. And then he decided that he liked this one. And within a week of us going to see Sarah, I had to message Sarah back and say, has this sold? Because Jordan would like to put it in with my birthday things. So this is the new packaging for Bothy. I actually really like this. It comes on a box now. Obviously it tells you everything that's in it. So you get your pre-cut fabric, your colourful stranded cottons, a diagram, a needle, and detailed instructions, and then the contact information for Bothy. Actually, fun fact, Bothy is made within just a couple of hours of where I live. Apparently Sarah was saying that they are reasonably local for us, but this is part of her shoe collection. I am obsessed. I went through the shoe collection. There isn't one that I don't like. So this is number 16 and I love it. I'm not a big fan of stitching with yellow. I don't like stitching with pale colours in general because I feel like they never look right. They never lie nicely. They never, I don't know, they just don't cooperate very well. I like to stitch with dark colours. So when you open the box, obviously I've opened this and used it, but you get your printout of, like on a piece of paper, of what the pattern will look like. Obviously I can't show you all of this, but this is the pattern. You get a pattern with and without backstitch. So you get one without backstitch and one with backstitch. Because that was the one without backstitch. One with backstitch. It means that you don't have to worry about trying to read it. And then you get your key. And both they don't give you your thread numbers either. So if they use DMC or Anchor, they don't tell you which numbers it is. So it's pretty much useless unless you have the kit. And then this is the thread card. So the thread card originally comes like this, that actually join together. So I cut through the middle and then looped all of my threads onto the card so that when I go to use my needle and just pull a piece off, it comes off so much nicer, so much quicker, so much easier. I picked this up. I've stitched a Bothy before and I've really enjoyed stitching the one that I stitched before. So I stitched the Fox. It was, I can't remember what it was called. And I've stitched that. I've shown that on my channel before in my first video with all of my finishes. And now I own 3 more Bothys. I've got this one and 2 more that I will show you when I'm doing my haul. So this one last show before I show you how much I've done. I did only work on this for like 3 days. So I started in the middle because I wanted to make sure I was located properly on the fabric, and then I've worked my way up because I prefer to stitch down. So I'll start in the middle, and this is for everything. Mirabilias, it doesn't matter what it is. Full coverage is the exception. Normally full coverage I'll start top corner, except for one of my projects. So I found the middle and I've just trailed all the way up to this flower, and I'm filling in the flower and coming down before I do the linear work. So the way I do the linear work is on the pattern. Like I will finish all of it, like all of a section, make sure it's fully stitched around, and then I will do my back stitch without, you know, worrying about, oh, well, I need to come back and put stitches in there later. So that is the kit that Jordan picked, and this is how far I have got. So as you can see, the shape of the flower is discernible. I did only work on this for I think 2 days. Again, a number 3 hoop and another Denkai Designs needle minder. I really like these big square ones. I don't know why, like they're a bit different. I have 2. So I just put my B, obviously, because this is a B. So as you can see, this is the middle, or somewhere around here is the middle, and I've counted to the first colour that I could trail all the way up to the top, and I'm just filling it in colour by colour. So I start first box over here. And so if this is the first box of the pattern, it's the first colour, and I'll trail that as far as the thread goes. Next colour, trail that as far. I can do like a proper in-depth video on how I stitch a fancy lady, a kit, a full coverage, if that is something that you're interested in. Just let me know underneath this video and I can make that video. Because I'm very aware that a lot of people stitch differently. And excuse the zipper. I like to watch how other people stitch to see if they have any ideas that maybe I haven't come up with, that maybe help me in finding a quicker, more efficient, more enjoyable way to stitch a project. Or maybe it's just a new way to stitch that, you know, makes it a bit more exciting. So I have 3 more projects to show. These are the 3 like big ones. So this project bag used to have my blooming bride in it. However, when you see my haul, you'll understand why she's no longer in here. This now holds my Teresa Wentzler, the Castle, which I own 2 copies of the pattern. I own the Jan Lynn kit, which is this one, but for the video I'll show you this one. I'd have a version of the pattern and a version of the kit, so I also have the booklet. And this was because anybody who stitched a Teresa Wentzler, sorry, I thought it started raining. Anybody who stitched a Teresa Wentzler knows that the back stitch is just all black lines, and then you have to read the directions and it'll say, like, you know, to use a certain colour in between symbols. My brain, it's taking a little while to kind of get used to it and understand the back stitch. So I wanted to have 2 copies because the copy that comes with the Jan Lynn is just on paper, and this is a bit more cardboard. So I can reference this one when I need to, and then when I'm finished, I'll either do a giveaway or I'll just sell this for essentially what I paid for it, which I'm pretty sure I actually didn't pay very much for this because I got it on eBay. The kit I also didn't pay very much for. I think I paid about £28. However, when it arrived, there was colours missing, and I don't understand because she said it was brand new. The lady that was selling it said it was brand new, never been used, never been opened, and the thread had never been used. A fabric had never been used, nothing. But there was like 2 bundles of colour missing, so it came with like 6 bundles, for example. I can't remember exactly how many there was, and each bundle had a certain amount of colours. You had to sort through them all. And this is all the threads. It looks really messy, but I find these cards are the easiest. Things like this, I've got plastic ones or just these old ones. But there were some colours missing, so it said to me how many meters I needed, so I just got some of my own threads and cut it to the measurements required. You won't be able to tell because it's not like I had 2 out of the 5 meters of a colour. That colour was completely gone. So you would think it feels like it should have more, but it doesn't. It feels like it should own a lot more threads. So I haven't done too much on this one. I think I worked on it for about 2 or 3 days. So previously I already had all of the turret, any of this turret-y bit done. So I have been working on the dragon's head. Jordan, I asked him whether to do the wing or the head, and he said that I should do the head. So I've been working over. So I'm stitching this not on the 14 count that came in the kit, because absolutely not. Teresa Wentzler does too many fractionals for me to be doing on 14 count. I like to keep my sanity. This is stitched 28 count just on a piece of Zweigart 28, and I'm stitching it 2 over 2 with all the called for threads. Pardon. And again, a Nurge number 3. This is just the brown one. I only have 1 pink one. I do need to get some more. So I've been working on getting the dragon's head. So again, I'll put in where it was before, and then this is where it is now. And obviously you've seen what it's going to look like when it is finished. I'm trying to also build a collection of Teresa Wentzlers, but anybody who collects or stitches Teresa Wentzlers knows just how hard it is to find them. I've literally just won Rapunzel on eBay. The bid has just finished before this video, and I'm very happy to be saying that I'll be paying £6 for her, because just for the chart, I have I found a lady actually on the Teresa Wentzler Facebook group who was getting rid of a Lady Charlotte, and she was in Australia, and she said that if you pay the postage, she would happily send it to you. So, you know, I messaged her and she was like, okay, that's great. She went to see how much the postage was, decided that actually the postage was that small that she was just going to send it to me. So she just sent me it, and I was blown away because obviously she sent it all the way from Australia, and that pattern is worth so much. Well, to some people that's worth a lot. So obviously I was blown away by this lady's kindness. Excuse me while I reach for my next project. I'm going to show you my memorabilia before I talk about my 3 finishes. Well, I'll show you my big project, and then I'll show my 3 finishes, and then I'll get on to haul. I can't remember what work I've done on this since I last showed you it. I've not done that much, to be honest. So this is Blooming Bride, and I'm pretty sure since the last time you've seen it, I've literally just worked down here in this. This is solidly all 550. It's just deep purple, and it's so much deep purple. And I was stitching this and rewatching Grey's Anatomy because I finished season 20 and I went to rewatch it, and my brain suddenly went, your favourite character dies soon. And then Jordan had the lovely spirit of mentioning another character. So when my favourite character died, I was crying. And then I think it was 8 seasons later, my next favourite character died, and his death was so bittersweet, and it was so heartfelt that I was like broken. Like, that broke me. And luckily, and I don't know how Jordan's done this, but both times my favourite character died, Jordan hasn't been here, so Jordan doesn't see them. He hasn't seen, you know, the good people dead. The 3 favourite characters I had in Grey's, he hasn't seen any of their deaths. I don't know how he's done this. Strategic plans of work. So I was rewatching it, and my brain suddenly went, oh no, he dies soon. So I've not been able to watch it since. I haven't watched it since July. I'm now just starting Gilmore Girls, which I did start about 3 years ago. Got to episode 16, suddenly stopped watching it, never watched it again. So now I'm just about to start season 2. I was watching it before filming this video. Just about to start season 2. And I feel like I've missed on something because everybody else has seen it. But yeah, I think the only thing I've done on this project is this solid wall 550. I did actually have to email, I think it was Witchelt, because somewhere up here, there's, on the pattern, there's a blank square, like with nothing. And I was like, well, what do I stitch? And I get that you could just fill it in with the colour next to it, but because this is a patch of flowers, I didn't want to fill it in with the wrong colour and then it would look weird. But I've said to John, I need to pull this back out. So I've got a project that I'm working on right now, and once I hit my goal on that, I'm going to take a couple of days off. I'm going to work on this, I think. I'm not going to make any promises. And then I'm going to go back to my big project and just finish it. But that was my Blooming Bride. Obviously, I will put in pictures of where it was, what it's going to look like, because currently I don't have that picture. So I'll put in a picture of what it's going to look like on this fabric as well, because there's no point showing you what it's going to look like on the picture, because the picture has a brown fabric. And obviously this is not. This is a Rubus, which is the fabric that I won last year on my birthday from Chromatic Alchemy. It's a 32 count opal linen, so it's got that beautiful, beautiful sparkle that you can see there. And she had a naming competition. So if you named the fabric and you picked your name, you won it. So I called this a Rubus because he's the god of darkness. And I think it fits because it's like twilight blue, and it's just stunning. That sparkle, stunning. And again, Denkai Designs, because I am obsessed. Her magnets are so strong, and I just think that they're amazing. And again, I'm stitching this with everything called for, which as you can see is a lot. This is all treasures. This is all DMC. These two here are the backstitch colors. We've got one silk, and then these are the beads. Which there's 2 packets, one of them, but the treasures, 4 of them require 2 packets. The insane amount of beads in this, and I cannot wait to stitch this up. This will be my biggest memorabilia when she's finished on stitch count, I imagine, because she looks and feels a lot bigger in terms of how much needs done. So I haven't worked on a full coverage project, I think, since I stitched on Santa, which was my Spirit of You from Pain-Free Crafts. And I don't know, I just felt like stitching a full coverage. So I sent Jordan some options. I wobbled the camera again. I sent Jordan some options saying, these are my full coverage projects with the most work or the smallest stitch count. Can you pick one? I'm going to work on it until it's finished. And it's the first time in my life I've ever been true to my word when it comes to full coverage stitching, because I never do that. So I've been working on Snow Much in Love, which now looks like this. And I love this. So I will put in a picture of where it was, and obviously I will put in a picture right now of what it will look like when it's finished. And this is an ornament from Heaven and Earth Designs, and I have been stitching on this for the last, I think, 2 weeks, and I've enjoyed every blooming stitch. I've enjoyed this so much. So here's a picture of where it was, and here's a picture of where it is now. So some facts about this: when I picked this up, it was at 14,500 stitches, and as of this morning I'm at the best part of 19,000 stitches. I haven't stitched on this every day because over the last 2 weeks I have had a couple of non-stitchy days because I've been so burnt out from work. However, this has got 65 colours complete out of 88. I have picked this up, and as you saw where it was, I stitched in all of the part threads, and then I have went colour by colour. And right now I have got about 5 colours with less than 500 stitches left, and then I've got a plastic thread card which has I think there's about 16 colours that all have over 500. And when I get onto them, this is going to fill in so quickly, because as of right now I've got 2 more colours that I need to finish, and then I'm on to anything between 250 and 500. So this fits completely inside this hoop. No idea where this needle minder's from. It's from Etsy. It came with another penguin actually. But I am so happy. This is basically at 47%. Best part of that's the statistics I can remember. My tablet is in the other room, and quite frankly, if I go get it, the cats are gonna start meowing and wondering what the heck she's doing because she's talking to herself. But yeah, I'm so excited. This has came on so much in the last 2 weeks, and this is the furthest I've ever got on full coverage. I understand that 19,000 stitches is less than a Mirabilia. It's not the furthest I've got stitch count, but percentage wise, this is the furthest I've ever got. And obviously I think you can tell because it's 2 snowmen and you've seen what it's going to look like. A lot of down here is just combinations of like 318 and, you know, all the pale colours. Actually not white, because I just finished Blanc today. I've just finished that before this video. So as you can see, like this is where the Blanc is and stuff. So all of these colours are finished. I've got like tuppence for colours finished, and I'm so happy because obviously once I finish M3 colours today, because that's my goal for today, once I finish M3 colours today, this is going to fill in so quick, because obviously when you're stitching a colour and it's got say 70 stitches, it takes a bit longer because some of them are quite scattered, like this colour, this dark colour that's over here. But obviously, like once you stitch something, like as you can see, this peach colour is so much easier because you're not having to count to where it goes. You're just going to the next stitch, and I am absolutely buzzing to get this finished. The fabric's not very big. This is a Nurge. This is a number 8 embroidery hoop. I just tightened up the screwdriver, which is why this side looks kind of flat. But this fits inside. This is stitched on 25 count 1/1 with all of the DMC threads, not that there's many left. I'm so excited because when I picked this up, my snow lady did not have a face. That hat was giving me anxiety. And she had no arms, there was no buttons, and I'm just so happy with how this has came on. So yeah, Jordan picked this one out of the ones that I sent him because his thought process was, get it finished, we'll try and get it framed for Christmas, and have it hanging at Christmas because I think it's so cute. And it always reminds me of like a little old couple, and me and Jordan are 27 and 29, and I get that we're sitting here talking about like next month, you know, trying for a baby and whatever, you know, start trying for a baby, and I get that, but we are an old couple. Like, we go to bed at 7 p.m. most nights, and we, you know, cook a Sunday dinner every weekend, and we enjoy a very quiet, peaceful life. We're old people. I'm hoping for the next video, which will be after my 10 days annual leave, we'll have a lot more progress on this, and hopefully we're a lot closer to a finish. I mean, we are pretty close to a finish. We're halfway, basically. So I'm really, really excited about this. And the plans after this, Jordan would like me to stitch Florist King, which is a program, goodness me, a Pain-Free Crafts, and he's just turned 3, the chart that I've been stitching. I started stitching him in 2021 on my birthday, and it was a gift from a nan. He's what's going to be coming after this, because he's got about 75,000 stitches left. But he is my nemesis, because I cannot for the life of me enjoy stitching it, because I thought it'd be really clever, and I saw a lot of people, Flossabilities, Jessie Marie does stuff, all stitching on plain white fabric. So I thought, but I love the way when you stitch on a plain piece of fabric, especially for full coverage, I just love the way that it looks very satisfying to my brain. So seeing the pages, and there's no grid, there's nothing, it's just stitching. That, to me, beautiful. Yet never doing it again, ever. I did it on Thranduil, and my goodness me, it's kicking my butt. I have a few projects right now on pure white fabric that are not gridded, and I won't do it again. I can't do it again. Mentally, too much for me. I need the grid. Even if I don't use it, I just need it. That way I can say it was 3 boxes over, because that's about all I use it for. I do not use it to go 4 stitches in. No, I don't do that. But yeah, so that was all of my whips. So we're going to talk about my finishes. So in the last couple of months, I've had 3 finishes between July and August. I had a Mirabilia, a Norma Corbett, and a magazine pattern stitch. So the magazine pattern stitch was a start and a finish. It was Love in the Isles. I will obviously put a picture of the magazine pattern if I can find it. If not, I'm going to put in a close-up picture of my finish, because obviously I don't have it with me, because my finishes get stored and I don't want to have to like get it out when the cats are like out and about and things like that. It's just for this video, because for other videos I won't have been sitting for like 2 months with finishes. So I'll put in a video, not a video, I'll put in a picture of this whip, and it'll show you, it's made of backstitch and French knots, and I think there's like 10 stitches in the whole thing. It was from the World of Cross Stitcher magazine, either this year or last year, and you put the little heart over where is the most important place to you in the UK. So for me and Jordan put it over Ecclefechan. Ecclefechan is the village in which me and Jordan both grew up, and we went to school together. We've even lived in the same house. Jordan moved out and I moved in. We were next door neighbours. We were in the same class at school, and Jordan doesn't remember me. Jordan knows everybody else in my class, but he doesn't remember me. We didn't know each other when we were living next door to each other. It's insane how we were so close to each other our entire lives, and it wasn't until last November in a random Facebook message that me and him managed to connect. And obviously we're really glad that we have, because we're here now and we are happier than ever. So I stitched this using the paint box threads from Sarah. So I used the purple pack. I also have the green pack. I hauled them a few months ago. The purple pack, I used 3 of the skeins, and I used 1 for the heart, 1 for stitching the back stitch of the island, and then, sorry, I used 2 for the French knots, a darker one and a lighter one. So there's 4 colours altogether used, and this project took me literally a day. I found it really enjoyable. It's stitched 28 count, 2/2, with just 1 strand of the paint box threads, because I find that they're very thick. But I really enjoyed this project. It was a really quick finish, and it was something that me and Jordan wanted to have so we could get it framed and in the house. So we're on the hunt for just finding a frame for it, which shouldn't be very hard. So my next finish was Miss Ladybug. Miss Ladybug was started at the retreat last year, the No Bam retreat. So it started at the end of October. She's a Nora Corbett. She's really small. I'm stitching her on a piece of Sparkly's 32 count even weave. It was the April 2017 mystery fabric is what it was labelled as. So it's a pale lilac colour. I will put in a video of Miss Ladybug and what she looks like in all her finished glory, because altogether she hasn't taken that many stitch days. If you were to put it all together, it probably took me a week. But because I've dilly-dallied and wasted time and worked on other things, etc., obviously Miss Ladybug has taken longer. So Miss Ladybug is now finished, and I'm really, really happy that she's finished. She's my favourite Nora Corbett out of the whole lot of them. So she is now done, and obviously like you can see exactly what she looks like. She's now hanging with the rest of my collection, and I'm really, really happy with her. And my third finish is my Snow Queen, which you've probably seen on Facebook because I posted it in the Mirabilia group and it exploded. I had over 500 likes, which I've never had that before. And she is fully stitched, beads, back stitch, the whole shabam. 2100 beads she has, and she's stitched on 32 count Dusk Opal by Sparkly's, and it's the horizontal version. So I stitched her up using every single thing that was called for, and I'm going to put in a video of what she looks like because she is simply stunning. There's no other word for her. Again, she's hanging up the rest of my finishes, and she has been for over a month because they've been finished for so long, and it just seemed like a lot of work to go and get them out because, you know, I don't want the cats in the bedroom because we've got a whole lot of clothes in there that need to go in the bed, like in the cupboards, because we just haven't done it. So we've got a couple of days clothes to put away and things, so I don't want the cats in there right now. So this isn't normally how I'd show a finish. Normally I wouldn't show a finish like this. But I'll put in the video so you can see exactly what they look like because they are beautiful. So yes, 3 finishes in a month and a half, 2 months, and I'm really proud of myself, which seems really silly to say like, oh, I'm really proud of myself, but the amount of sitting down and stitching Ladybug, it took a lot of brain power. As much as she seems to be quite small, there's a lot of brain power in there for me because she's quite blocky, and I find blocky stitching really boring. And then for Snow Queen, it was a case of, oh, there's so many beads. There's just so many beads. And the last time you seen her, I hadn't finished the beads on her. I'd only done the beads on the reindeer. So now she's fully finished as well. And that is my 3 finishes for this. So I'm going to show you my haul. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing the videos of them. So I feel like I should probably get through this like bucket of haul that I have because I have so much haul. It's actually, yeah, it's a lot. But as I said, this is my last haul before October. So I'm going to organise this, and for you it'll be 2 seconds. For me, it'll probably be a few minutes. But I will be going. The first piece of haul that I got is not actually from Sarah at Pain Free Crafts. These are from a lady on Etsy. She's called Sew Bee Crafts, and I, in the last couple of weeks, have decided I love her bags. I've already showed one of her bags. I got a bag that had tulips on it, and I keep my flower fairies in there so I'm kitting them up, getting ready to stitch them. So the first bag I bought was this Oriental. So this is one of her bigger project bags. I actually have 2 different sizes to show you today. So this was the one that I bought in July. This is her Oriental bag. I was going to buy the bag that had the mushrooms on it as well, but I just decided I wasn't loving it as much. And that's what the bag looks like at the back. These are beautiful. I love them. They're like quilted, and then they have the lace. I'm not sure why this one's sticking up like that. They have the little ribbon. Normally I take these off, but I feel like for this one it actually does work. It's the same colour as the pink. And then you open them up. This one is just plain white inside. These are big enough to hold an 11 by 11 Q-snap. Now, I've never actually used one of these as an active project bag until the one that I got in August. The one that I got in August, I saw it, had to have it. So I put my alarms on and I was like, right, get your message ready to copy and paste. And I was refreshing Instagram. So the lady's called Pauline. She sells these on Instagram. They're £20 and then you pay £3 postage, so about £23. Obviously I live in the UK, so it'd be different if you didn't. But I got this because I've got many projects I want to stitch for Jordan. I've got a lot of like Japanese themed projects, and Jordan loves Japan. He loves the culture. He loves everything Oriental. So I picked this up. I obviously asked him if he liked it first because it seemed silly otherwise. I think it was in June, there was an Oriental design and I liked it from a distance, and then I saw it up close and I was like, oh, it's got faces on it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the faces. Had the art not had faces, I'd have probably bought that. But I got this one and I love it. This actually does have another piece of hollow inside of it, so you might want to take that out so I remember to show you it. It's a kit that I bought, again, on eBay, that I'm going to stitch for Jordan. So these are brilliant. So that is the first bag that I bought. And then the next bag that I bought, I'm going to save best for last because it's stunning. So I got this little bag. So this is a different design that she does. And this has got like green polka dots. It's either green or yellow. We can't decide. It kind of looks like a green. But it looks like it's got little field mice or shrews. But I love it. It reminds me of autumn. Obviously, it's got the leaves and the acorns. And this is a gusseted bag. Is it a gusset? I think that's what you call it. Anyway, it's a flat bottom bag. So it stands up. It's really great. I've been using this to keep my full coverage in. So obviously, So Much in Love fits in the big hoop. The big hoop's not going to fit in here. But for my next full coverage, so this is all of the big colours. Anything over 500 that I've got for So Much in Love. So these are the last 16 colours. I think I'm actually 17 colours. 17 colours. The last 17 colours are over 500 stitches. This is the smallest, working all the way through to the biggest. This is the biggest colour, 318. I like to use these plastic ones. And then I've got them ready for Thranduil. Obviously for Thranduil there's more. I only have two. The one that's got the colours that I'm trying to finish now, and that one, and then Thranduil's got 4, because I won't be working Thranduil colour by colour. I will be working page by page in the typewriter method. So I'm using it for this because Thranduil will be going into an 8x8 Q-snap, and an 8x8 Q-snap will fit in here just fine. And that means I can have my whole full coverage project in here at hand, easy to get to. Everything's contained. I can put my tablet in there, scissors, whatever I've got. And then the last bag that I bought from her, this is housing my Blooming Bride, my memorabilia, because I don't have a Halloween project yet. But I love this. This is so cool. So Pauline releases a picture of all the fabric she's got for that month, and then tells you like, oh, it's next Friday at 6 p.m. or whatever, you know, time she's doing it. And I always look at the fabric and go, I don't know, if there's something I love, then I automatically, like the tulips, I saw the tulips and I knew I had to have them. Also sent this one to Jordan and went, what do you think of the fabrics in this month? And he was like, oh, I like that black one, the black Halloween one. And I was like, oh, that's funny because it's the only one I like in the picture. So Jordan said it gave him like natural witch vibes, and I was like, well, that's what it reminds me of, like, you know, like traditional witch vibes. So I picked it up. I commented first because I was like refreshing Instagram. I took the ribbon off here because it was orange, and while these little the spiders are orange, the orange ribbon to me didn't match, and I wasn't a big fan of it. So this holds perfectly an 11 by 11 Q-snap. But also in here I've got a clipboard with my pattern, everything in there for my memorabilia. As you can hear, it's got my beads in there. The Q-snap also does fit in here, and I did have it in here until I showed you it. So I got another one of these. So these are 20, and then these ones are 14. Was it 14? Yeah, I paid 14 for this one, and I really like this. So I've said to Jordan, I'm going to pick some more of these up. She uses leftover fabric for these ones. So she usually has like one or two, but it's the big ones, you know, she might have multiple of. But I seen it and decided that I really, really liked it. So I'm going to see, because she doesn't release which ones she's making out of the scrap fabric. Obviously, she just releases them on the day. So you kind of just have to see what she's posting, and if you like it, comment, and then pay, and she sends it to you. But I've always found her delivery to be really quick as well, and I've not had an issue with anything that I've received from her. If you give me a moment, I'm just going to get the rest of my haul. So my birthday haul is mixed up in this. So if I don't specify that I got it from eBay, or, you know, like my bags I got from Sobe Bags on Instagram, I'll actually put her tag on the screen in case anybody wants to go and check her out and see if, you know, maybe there's something for you or a friend, or, you know, just to support a small business in general. So I got two more Bothy kits. So I got another shoe and then a Lucy Pitaway. So I'll start with the shoe. These have been opened, which is why they're kind of like this. So this is the Siren. This is the one that I saw the name of and just had to have it, and I am not disappointed. When I lifted it up out of the box, I was not disappointed. This did not even make it onto Sarah's shelf, because I said to her, I was like, I have to have that. I am coming back. I am paying for this. So this is number 17 and is just called the Siren, and that is stunning. Obviously you have the Siren herself on a very underwater themed shoe. I think that is beautiful. That is, I love it. I'll show you what the threads look like in this. I don't know why it's not opening. Because the colour of the threads in this are insane. So they look like this, they're just so bright, and then there's so much blue, and this is how obviously the thread card comes. So these are just looped through, they're not actually like slip knotted on. So I like to cut up that line, just be careful not to cut any of the threads, and then attach each of the threads to the card, and then you've got your fabric. And then everything that I showed you before from the Be My Sunshine kit, they're all the same, they're all packaged the same, obviously just different threads and pattern. So that is the Siren. Absolutely love this. Not going to touch this until Be My Sunshine is finished, because they all know what I get like. So this was also a Jordan pick. This is called Love and Light. This is a Lucy Pitaway. This is number 3. And I just think this is so cute. Jordan picked this one with nothing. He literally looked at the shelf and went, oh, I really like that one. I want to get you that one for your birthday. So he did. And good job, because this is stunning. This is a full coverage. So while it may not be Heaven and Earth designs, it's a full coverage. And I think it's beautiful. And again, it's just the exact same as the shoes. I'm not going to take this one out because it has a bit more thread, just with it being full coverage. And these are all stitched on 14 count. But next in this gigantic, like, I have this pile, and this isn't even my fancy lady. Like, I have a pile of fancy lady things. So I picked up this. This was an eBay purchase. I've been trying to finish the collection of these, so I've currently got a few of these. And I need to finish them. However, there's an elf. I'll put on the screen what the elf looks like. And I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. I can't find anyone that has it. I can't find anybody that sells it. I can't find it. So I don't know if it's maybe been discontinued. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of hoping that somebody like has a second-hand one that they eventually put on eBay that I just don't want. But this is the angel. These are stitched on plastic. I have finished one of these, started another. I've got one ready to go, and then this one. I still need to buy like 5 or something. It's something ridiculous. And when I have finished them all, I'm going to put felt on the back and use them as decorations at Christmas time. So by next Christmas, hopefully me and Jordan will have more homemade decorations in the house, because I really like a traditional Christmas. So I'm hoping that by next Christmas we can have some more homemade decorations. So this is the angel. I'm not going to open these because I prefer to keep my new kits, so that when I get to have a new start, or decide that I'm going to start something new, that I have something that feels new because it hasn't been opened before, if that makes sense? I don't know if that makes sense. The next one I've got has been opened, but it was opened by me, and that was just so I could organise the threads. Because I'm not sure when I'm going to start this, but this is actually for Jordan. I've never seen anybody stitch this one before. I've seen all the other rolls, I've never seen this one, and it's called Call of the Wilderness. It's a Dimensions kit. It's from 1997, so it's the same age as me. Where are we? It's 16 count, dove grey Ada, all your threads, and this is also an American one. This didn't come with pre-sorted threads, so I've had to do that. And from what I can see of the pattern, it seems like the sky and the snow are half stitch, everything else is full stitch. Or at least the wools are most definitely full stitch, I've checked that much, but Jordan really likes this. So I have opened it. Obviously you've got your pattern, your key, your fabric, and then I've went through it, and that is substantially thick. With all these little paper thread cards and the threads. I'm not sure if I'll change them onto plastic thread cards, but for right now at least the colours are organised, and I can go back later and check them. And then this was also an eBay purchase. The only problem with this is it doesn't have fabric. However, not actually a problem. This is, that's not a great picture. It's, what is it called? The Woodland Alphabet. So I'll put it up as close as I can get it. And all the alphabet has, you know, like C has got like a little bunny. And then P has a fox, there's a chipmunk, lots of bunnies, like a little field mouse. I just think this is so cute, and I think we have decided to decorate our nursery, because obviously if we're trying for a baby, that is the original, like that's the plan. We're going to decorate our nursery in Shire, so we're talking Hobbits and Lord of the Rings, and I thought a woodland themed nursery stitched would be the cutest thing to add to that, because we are wanting a very nature themed nursery, so we're thinking like toadstools, you know, like a hobbit door on the wall, all that kind of stuff, doing like a hobbit themed nursery, not straight up Lord of the Rings, just like hobbit inspired, so going very natural and nature themed. And I thought for a boy or a girl this is beautiful, so I really like this. So it comes with all of its thread. It's not pre-sorted. I haven't had a chance. This literally just arrived like yesterday or the day before, and I've not went through it. But I've went through the pattern, had a look at the pattern just from what I can see, and there's so many 3/4 stitches that this is meant to be stitched on 14 count Ada. I don't think I would want to stitch it on that anyway. Because I feel like it would just make the project harder than it needs to be. So when I go to the retreat, I'm gonna see if I can find a piece of 32 like pale grey fabric. I'm assuming I will, because the retreat has a lady there that sells fabric, and I'm hoping that I can find something to stitch that on. The next 4 that I have are Tatty Teddies, the Me to You Bear, and I did say that I was trying to collect them. So I've got 4. They're all ones that I don't have. I have a whole collection, and if anybody wants to see my full, I've got a huge box full of unopened or unstarted, as in I've opened them, sorted the threads, had a look, kits, then I quite happily do that. Or if you want to see my collection of Joan Elliott's or my collection of Tatty Teddies, I'm also quite happy to show you that, because I love watching people's like stash and seeing what people have got, and then going, oh actually that's quite nice, and then go and have a look for it, because sometimes you might not have never seen anything, because I don't know anybody that stitches these. So these are actually all Christmas. I just realised that. Wonderful. So this one is the Snowy Days, or Snowy Days, and these are stitched, this is a 14 count, most of them are stitched on 16. I just find that for these ones, when you're doing the back stitch, you need to use a skinny needle, because for something this small, I'm not changing the fabric, it just seems really silly, because then I'll have loads of small pieces of fabric hanging around the house. Because these don't take long, these take a day, 2 days, if I've got a day off. So they come with everything you need in there. These use anchor threads, which again, anchor threads are made in Paisley, which is originally where I wanted to go to university, but that didn't happen. So now I'm doing my Open University, so I do it online, and I'm just about to start my last year. So I should graduate this July. So these are threads made in Scotland. So this is Snowy Days. This is the first one that I purchased. I swear this thing never wants to focus. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. So that is the first one that I picked up. These are really small as well. So like he's 12 by 9.5 centimeters. So he's 4.5 by 3 3/4 inches. And then the next one I got is the same size, again on 14 count, and he's called Christmas Day. He is so cute. The first, oh, I think I've stitched two. One was called Time for Tea, and one was, oh, I can't remember, but he was covered in love hearts, and he was so stinking cute. But this one's just got a little sun hat. I love him. I also already have a Christmas one. He's called Mistletoe. This next one I love. He stitched it on 16 count, but he makes a little Christmas ornament. And he is so stinking cute. He is a little drummer boy. He's a Christmas decoration, what we call him. So there's everything in there to make him. The stuffing, the fabric, the piece of fabric for the back, everything, the little thing to hang, the threads, the lot, everything's in here. I didn't pay this price. These were all purchased on eBay. I think I paid £5 each, so I saved like £3. So yeah, that's the little drummer boy. He's the one that I really, really, really want to stitch. So yeah, that was my 3 small ones. And then I went back on a week later and found a big one. So this is the carol singing, and I just love this. This is beautiful. This is so much bigger. As you can see, there's actual skeins in the back of here. Thread card, fabric, and this comes in a much bigger packet. This is 7 by 6 1/4, which doesn't sound like much bigger, but when you're stitching it, it'll feel like it. But I love this. This is so cute. This is the second big one that I have ever had from Tatty Teddy. I have the other one. It's not stitched. It's started, but it's not stitched. So that is that. I'm going to show you this fancy lady, and then I'll talk about the giveaway. So when I was at Sarah's, oh, actually, I have another dimensions kit. So when I went in, after I'd already ordered my birthday stuff, I went back in to see her, and I wasn't picking up my birthday stuff, I was picking up something else, and I saw this. And I added this to my collection because I think this is really beautiful. So it contains, I think, everything. I'm just checking. Yes, it does. It contains everything you need to make the whole thing. The whole hanger. Jingle bells included. As you can see, there's jingle bells. This here is what I was checking. This is the metal work for it. But I think this is really pretty. And it's really small, so I'm hoping I can get that stitched as well for Christmas. I've got some big plans. They never come to pass. Apart from that, the rest of the things that I bought were fancy lady. I've got one Bella Filipina, one Nora Corbett, beads, and some silks. So I already have this pattern. This is Mermaid Perfume. I'll put in a picture of what my one's going to look like, because it's not going to look like this. So I'll put that in here. So I just bought the bead pack, and there's quite a lot of beads in there. So yeah, stunning beads in here. Like these are like a dusty purple and pink. I just think it's so stunning. There's treasures in here. I've just oh no, there's 2 different. I think they're the size 6 glass bead. There's 2 different sizes in here. But there's some really, really pretty beads. I probably already have a few of these beads, but I do like to pick up these. These are so convenient. So I'd rather have this in my stash. And then Sarah didn't have all of the silks for Mermaid Perfume, because Mermaid Perfume I think takes 6 silks, but she had 2. So this bright pink one is called African Sunset, and it's number 84. And then this purple grey colour is Antique Rose, and it's number 108. So I picked up these 2 to go with my bead pack, to go with my fabric and my chart for Mermaid Perfume, which is Mirabilia 173. And that's that. So that's obviously a lot closer to being stitched. The other bead pack I picked up was for Wisteria, because anybody who's watched my videos knows that I want to stitch the flower fairies. So these are stunning. There's a lot of periwinkles, lilacs. This is like a beautiful aqua. Purples, beautiful. So that's for Wisteria. So I also picked her up. And then the last 2 things that I have purchased, I actually it's not, I need to go get the other two patterns. So I got the Christmas tree from Nora Corbett with the doves on it. So this is 2007. This is number 2 in the series of Christmas trees. So Sarah had it, she just received this, and I had to have it. I just think this is beautiful. And I thought it took a lot more colours, and don't get me wrong, while it does take 3 skeins of some of them, or 2 skeins, that's not that many colours. So when I'm at the retreat, I need to find a piece of fabric for this, or that's the plan. And then the next pattern, before I go find my other 2, they're fancy ladies, but they're not Mirabilias or Bella Filipinas. So I got the Maiden of Tubataha, which, oh, I just love this. I just got fabric for this. So I'll put in a picture of what she's going to look like when I stitch her, because I'm not going to go into my fabric box, because I'd put it away before I realised I needed to haul it. I'm not going to go into the fabric box and try and, you know, get everything out and then have to put it back in the cellophane wrapper, and it seems like a lot of work. So I'll put in a picture of what it's going to look like when I stitch it. So this is the Bella Filipina. She's incredibly popular. I've already opened her to have a look at her pattern and see what she needs, but I love her. I love mermaids. I just never wanted to be a mermaid stitcher, and yet here I am. So I picked her up, and I picked up her fabric on eBay as well. Somebody was selling it. So she's going to be stitched on like this hot pink fabric. So very excited to see how she turns out. There's a couple of pieces of coral here and here, which may be slightly lost. But because they're not the exact same shade as the fabric, I think we'll actually be okay. I'm going to go get these last 2 patterns. So I am back with my last 2 pieces of haul. So these are 2 fancy ladies. One is from Pole Stitches. Oh, I'm so out of breath. And one is from Joan Elliott. I got these in my fabric box in July, which was my Halloween box. So there was 2 pieces of fabric in the box. I'm going to put in the patterns I plan on stitching with them, so you can get a rough idea what the fabric looks like. Again, I put it away. Only just remembered when I was filming this video, actually I need it. So here is the first piece of fabric and what I'm going to stitch on it. And here is the second piece of fabric and what I'm going to stitch on that. So the 2 patterns that I got in that box were Spellbound, which is a Joan Elliott. So she is a witch. She looks fantastic. So obviously they usually aim the fabric in the box to be stitched with the projects that come with it. Makes sense. However, I don't usually do that. I like to do my own thing. And then this is the project from Pole Stitches, the Goddess of Ghosts and Nightmares. And I love her. I love her dress. She's so different. Her dress is made of ghosts, and I think it's fantastic. So yeah, that is all of my haul. That seems like the never-ending haul. Thank you all very much for joining me for a really long-winded video, and I will see you all at the end of the month with my next update, which will be my September update. Have a great time, guys. Thanks. Bye.